So let's get this kicked off. My name is Mike Hilverda. I'm the VP of Customer Success here at SalesRabbit. And what I want to talk with you about today is our new weather product that's going to be launching about mid-March. And I think the narrative around this is at SalesRabbit, we're always looking to innovate. We're looking to add functionality to our product and also add new things that you can use in tandem with our mobile app and our web app. And if I was to look at 2020 and say, what did we do that year? What functionality did we bring? A big thing that we were doing was optimizations, making our app more performant, faster, making it majorly scalable for different companies. In 2021, the narrative is really around data. And I guess a way of communicating this, the way we've seen this, is you're seeing a rising generation of field sales reps out there, setters, closers, people who are doing this from a career perspective, not just a summer sales necessarily. And you're getting, what people might call the millennial rep. You're getting someone who maybe doesn't necessarily want to knock the way we did 30 years ago. It doesn't necessarily mean they're lazy. It just means that maybe they want a little more of a curated process. Show me the right doors to knock on, and I'm going to close that deal better than anybody has before. So in 2021 at SalesRabbit, we've really been focusing on data. Can we help our customers to see data in a more meaningful way that's going to guide you to the conversations that you're more capable of closing, buyer propensity, and things like that. A couple of other things we've done is we've created this new homeowner feed that allows companies to see where have people moved in recently, triggering data to drop into SalesRabbit based on the close date of the home. If you're the first person knocking on that door, you're selling home automation, you're selling home renovation services or something like that, we want to make sure that you're able to knock and be the first person pitching them on your product. If I'm a solar company, maybe I'm building a little bit of a delay in there. I want to make sure that they got an energy bill in hand. That's a meaningful conversation to have. We've got other things that are coming that are going to help you to see a buyer propensity. But with weather, this is an obvious need for certain industries that we serve. Am I able to see weather patterns, probabilities, damage that's occurred that's going to help me know which areas, which homes to knock on? And so the problem is too many companies are taking advantage of weather data services and are losing leads as a result. Since weather data drives where prime prospecting activity happens, unfortunately, teams who understand this reality are stuck with underperforming platforms and underperforming weather data. So basically, people have used weather maps in the past. Maybe some aren't, some are, but they're using a relatively inefficient process to do it. So at SalesRabbit, we want to make sure that you're getting that data inside the app in a really efficient way. Not only because from an operational standpoint, it's going to make you faster, it's going to remove tasks from admins, but also for the rep in the field. If everything exists in one place, in one experience, that's going to help them adopt that software, adopt processes, be more efficient in the field, and ultimately close more deals, make more money. So what we've done at SalesRabbit is we've partnered with Verisk. And if you haven't heard of Verisk, possibly you've heard of their product Xactimate. Verisk is the #1 weather data provider in the United States. They provide location-specific data, very near real-time, granular views. They have hail, wind, lightning data, fast and accurate, aligns with insurers before the claim is filed, and exclusive scientific methodologies. The cool thing with Verisk, and the reason we wanted to, one of the key reasons we wanted to partner with them, is that the reports they produce and we're able to make available at a household level in SalesRabbit are the self-same reports that are being used to validate insurance claims. This is legally influential data. And if that's what you're using to know where to knock, what doors to knock on, and how to approach that customer, even going through that weather report with them, that's a much more impactful conversation. So SalesRabbit, you know who we are, the leader in field sales enablement, best-in-class UI, UX, best-in-class support. We're always innovating, but we also see opportunities to partner with other companies that are innovating too. That's how Weather came about. So there's basically two aspects of this, and I am going to demo this in app for you today. Is we've got weather map overlays. So you receive real time. I'm going to explain what real time means here. Weather impacted leads and zones, and you're able to use that information to assign rep areas, canvas strategically, and go exactly where the deals are. From a management perspective, I'm able to see where to send the team on a blitz or in a blitz, where for them to knock. At an individual rep level, I'm going to have the data that tells me how to pitch that home, which houses. I mean, if I can tell based on the data in the app, I can see the roof, it's not an opportunity. I'm probably going to be moving a little faster beyond those. And then at the individual household level, we make it so you can pull a report within a minute or two that's going to give a historical breakdown of that home for the previous 2 years period of time. You're going to see probability, hail size, so hail probability, hail diameter, and then also wind speed and wind impact for that area. So this is an example over here. Insured property owner, address. We've got the different storm events that have occurred over time. Diameter, probability of the hail that occurred there. And that actually populates into the SalesRabbit lead and is connected with that lead. Again, it can be for the purposes of just the rep size, if that's your process, or this is a document that you can go through with that homeowner on the app and really get them to understand not only the impact that has occurred to their home, but also what, really that this is an insurance backable claim, that this is something that's actionable and is going to cost them little to nothing to get taken care of. The ability to share the document, the report, if that's part of your process, to other stakeholders within your company, to the prospect, to the customer themselves, if you want to share that document with them. And just to add this, it goes beyond the data using this in the app in SalesRabbit, because what you can also do with weather data like this is it's helping you to understand your audience. So it's helping you to understand your audience, who they are, where they are, and this is something that could be paired well with digital marketing campaigns, mailer campaigns, geo-targeting. It's not just about what's happening on the doorstep, but we can also help you to layer different interactions with that potential customer to increase the speed that they move towards sale. Now I'm going to close out of this. I'm going to open up my mobile app here and I'm going to reshare my screen. So when I log into SalesRabbit, this view should look pretty familiar to you. You'll notice there's this cloud with rain icon over there. We'll talk about that in a second. I've got SalesRabbit traditional mobile app. I'm going to come down here to Arlington, Texas. In this area, I've created a couple of leads that we're going to use as an example. So at the high level, looking at the map, the territory, if I hit this weather icon up here, I'm going to get a little drawer at the bottom of the screen. Right now, I have no storms selected. I'm going to touch that menu, and it gives me options to look at hail size, hail probability, wind gust, or if I'm done with this view, I can hit no storms. But let's look at wind gust. And then I'm going to select a date. So the reports, the single lead, like household level reports, are going to show you information for the previous 2 years. You're also getting storm data for historicals as well. So I can pick specific dates and I can pull those in to see where it's impacted. So I picked wind gust, February 11th. I'm going to pull out here and I've got some obvious weather happening here. I can see major patterns over in the Colorado area. I can see the different coloration in the areas. There's kind of a bold line around the different regions and then different levels of opacity that are marking that. But if I touch on this area, 60 mile per hour wind, 55, 50, I can touch on these different areas and it's showing me what was occurring in that region. If I want to mix it up a little bit, let's go back and let's look at hail probability. And I'm going to switch up the dates here. Actually, that's not a bad one. Let's go with that, February 11th. And I've got several storms happening here. Looks like some decent impact down here outside of San Antonio. A couple of towns. I've got different colorations for the extremeness of the storm and the hail probability. We've got a key built in here that helps you to interpret the different colorations. But I can also touch on those different areas, and it's going to tell me the actual probability within that area. Now, probability is important, but maybe I want to look at hail size as well. Let's see if I've got some hail size area here. Yeah, let's come over to this region. In similar view, you're just going to be able to see those diameters broken out within those different regions. So again, I can select a specific type of map I want to see. I can select a specific date range, and then I've got the key for each of those to understand the color gradations, what that means. Now, something important as far as the weather maps go is we've worked with weather map providers before. A lot of our clients have, and you're purchasing or subscribing to maps at a very regional level. I'm buying specific maps, or I'm saying I want to subscribe to all maps for the state of Wyoming, the state of Missouri. And with SalesRabbit, what you're doing is you're actually getting access to the entire country storm maps. And like I said, not just for specific days, not just for specific storms, but you're getting the historical. You can go back in time as time goes forward, and you know that storms are occurring, you can access those maps immediately. And when I say immediately, and we talk about real time, what does that actually mean? Verisk is updating this data constantly throughout the day on basically 5-minute intervals for us, which we regard as basically being real time. So as soon as that map data is available, it is available to you within 5 minutes within SalesRabbit to be able to overlay that on the map and strategize with your teams. Now let's come down to this area that I've created here. Let's imagine that I've gone through and I've identified an area where we want to work based on the map overlays. I can come to a specific lead here, open it up, and I could do this before I actually knock on the door, before I talk to the person. Maybe based on the maps, I know there's a high probability of a sale here. And I can do this process before, or I can wait until after I've talked to the customer. But you're going to hit this little Forms tab at the top of the screen. And I've got a couple of different forms in here, but I'm going to choose the one that says Weather Report. Optional for business name, first, last, but the only thing that's really required to pull the report is the address. So once that's entered, I hit Submit. And it's going to take, 15, 20 seconds, and I'm going to get a green response back that says, hey, great. We found the report for this lead for this home, and that's going to be delivered to you in SalesRabbit within a minute or two. There we go. It says weather report requested. Your weather report for, and it says the address is being generated. It will be added to a lead on a file on the lead within the next 1 to 2 minutes. So I'm going to give that a second. Sometimes it's faster than 1 or 2 minutes, but we'll come back to that one in a second. I could go to any of these leads and I could request those reports. The address data is automatically populated on that lead. So literally I can select the form, request the weather report. Within about 15 seconds, I'm going to get that message. And let's try this one. Boom. I can come in there and that PDF attachment is already there. I can open it up and it's going to show me the details. So ignore the Amazon logo in the upper left-hand corner. That's It's a dev thing we're working on, but basically I've got the address of the location. I've got the date the report was requested, latitude and longitude. So we've got the historical listed there with the different storms, hail size, hail probability, wind speed, wind duration, and then gives more details down below that really gets into the specifics of what that hail size means, what that hail probability means, wind speed, wind duration. And something that's really nice is down there at the bottom, it's going to say powered by, and it's going to have the names SalesRabbit and Verisk there. Now, SalesRabbit, it's our product that we're introducing, but especially the fact that you've got that Verisk logo on there is very comforting. It's like certifying this data because it's coming from the #1 weather data provider and insurance claim supporter in the country. Okay. So if there are any questions, I haven't seen any questions popping in, but there's a little Q&A function at the bottom there. Please feel free to ask any questions and I can respond to those. So David with a question about pricing. So what's our pricing going to be on this when we launch it here in a couple of weeks? Like I said, with other mapping weather providers, you're going to usually buy specific maps, or you're going to subscribe to a feed for a particular region, like a state. And then you're getting access to those maps for a period of time, and then those are kind of going out of the flow. Important for us is we wanted to make sure that we are providing map data and household report level data for the entire country, regardless of necessarily the regions that you work in. And we also wanted to make sure that this is scalable for your company. Big or small, growing, wanted to make sure that this is a scalable process, not only in terms of the product, but the price. So we're still figuring out these details as far as the exact price, but it's going to be a per user license cost, which means if I've got a team of 10 people, each of those 10 people is going to have that user license cost. It's actually a very competitive cost when you compare to, getting this for the entire country, for getting reports at the household level on a basically unlimited basis, compared to getting just specific store maps for particular areas and reports for specific households. So you're getting more data at a really better price than you're going to find with a lot of other data providers. Looks like just that question on pricing. If anybody has additional questions, the best way to reach out and find out more about our new weather product is to go to salesrabbit.com. That's our company website. And there's a little chat bot there. You can find out more about weather on the site. You can actually chat with our sales team, get a demo set up, and find out how this would work for your company specifically. So thanks everybody for joining the call today, and we'll look forward to hopefully seeing you in the future. Thanks.